Good morning, everyone. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning or good day, depending on where you're from. Welcome back to another live stream. How's everybody doing today? How's everybody's weekend? Hopefully everybody had a nice weekend and is ready to get back to work. Happy Monday. New week, new opportunity. Good morning, Kobe. Good morning, Jorit. Good morning, Govna. Good morning, Triss. Good morning, Dude. Where's my stop loss? Good morning, Daniel. Good morning, Bob. Good morning, Island Dreams. Zaka, good morning. SWHB, good morning. Edward, good morning. Petro, good morning. Ezekiel, good morning. Mike, what's up? Matt, good morning. KJ Trades, good morning. How's everybody doing today? How did everybody's weekend go? Hopefully everybody had a nice weekend. A little chance to reset, recharge, do something good for the soul. Spend some time with some family. Hopefully everybody had a nice weekend and is ready to get back to work. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, HMH. How are you doing today? Good morning, Cash. Good morning, Weapon. Good morning, Spyro. Good morning, Heather. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Very excited to get back on here with you all. Just giving some people some time to join first before we get into any conversations here. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Another week, another opportunity to gain more conviction in our business. Very excited to get back to work this week. Had a beautiful weekend. Made some more updates to the real estate. Got to spend some time with the wifey. We are ready to go. Good morning, UM Trades. Good morning, Stephen Mills. Have you seen the new update to Apex? Yeah, it looks like they're making some major changes. It has been a long time coming. Finally. I mean, it's been years at this point. Years. Finally, they are making some updates, and I'm happy to see it. Hopefully, it'll have beneficial impacts for the traders. Good morning, Spartan. Good morning, Nico. Hope everybody's doing well. Hope everybody had a nice weekend. Hopefully, everybody is ready to get back to work. The weekly open. Can I operate IB? So you're talking about Globex, right? Globex open. Yes. Globex open for IB. That does make sense. So the first 1 hour of Globex open. Let's take a look. The low was set first. The high was set second. That means we would be looking for longs from 50% of the range. And what a beauty. What a beauty. Right, so here's your Globex open for the individual that's asking about trading the Globex open. This was a beautiful TP last night. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. The first 1 hour of Globex open, the low is created first, the high is created second. Therefore, we would be looking for longs from 50% of the range. 1 opportunity, 2 opportunities, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then we run to target with minimum drawdown here. Minimum drawdown. So yes, you can operate IB for Globex open. Here's last night's example. You think Apex will let you back in? Crossing my fingers. Unban the banned people. Let us run again. Unban all the banned individuals. Let us get a chance at those new rules. Let's get another shot. I would love to see that happen. And if it does, I'll definitely take another shot. I'll definitely take another shot. Ash, please, do you have a video on how to invest in real estate? Just asking. I wish to learn. So, in my opinion, you should, think about yourself first. Start with a personal property. There's just a couple things that you have to be aware of. You got to have a work history, okay? They're going to take a look at your income, and they want to see multiple years of it, okay? So you have to have a history of income. You have to have a good credit score, okay? Your debt to income ratio is very important too. So if you have an extraordinary amount of debt and no income, then that's going to be an issue. Work on those three things, and then go to a bank to qualify you for a mortgage. During that time, while you're working on those things, work on creating a down payment as well, okay? You're going to need down payment and closing costs to actually get into the property. And when you go and get qualified, they're going to qualify you for an extraordinary amount, way too much than what you actually need. So do not use everything that they give you. Get qualified, get approved, take a look at the numbers, see what you can afford, not what they're giving you. Make sure you run the numbers to make sure that, obviously your bills are less than your income so that you can be safe and sound and make sure that the mortgage is always paid. But, just start with work, start with credit history, start with your debt and income, start with creating a down payment. Once you do all those four things, go get qualified. Oh, sorry. Drop something. Go get qualified, go get approved, go start looking at houses, do the numbers, make sure it's within your budget. That's just a quick rundown, but very simple stuff. I don't know if you're in the US or not, so I'm only speaking for the US. I haven't bought anything outside of the country, so there's probably different rules for different countries. No, I don't have a specific video on that. All of my channels have always been related to day trading, so maybe that's something I can think about, in the future. We had a nice weekly SMT between NQ and ES on the rise for NQ. Yeah, we're gonna take a look. I was just welcoming everybody into the stream. I'm gonna dive into the charts here any minute. Just wanted to say, good morning to the community. Give everybody a chance to join the stream first before we hop right into the information. We'll go over the biases here any minute. We also just took a look at the Globex IB. Good morning, Hassan. Hope your day is going well. Good morning, Trader007. Good morning, Mock. Hope your day is going well. Ash, can you share the process of scaling a 5K account to a 50K account? Divide your drawdown by 10. Take 1 trade a day maximum, 2 to 3 trades a week. Complete the same process over and over and over again. Right? Would execute the strategy that you are currently trading. Do that 1,000,000 times over and watch the percentages increase. Hey, Ash, what was the trader's name you wanted us to follow to check out this page relating to initial balance? Mr. Zink. Go check out Mr. Zink's information. Go follow him on Twitter, Instagram, or YouTube. Check out his initial balance information. Good morning, R. Ferna. How's your day going? Ash, can you share the copy of the trading plan you followed? Yeah, there's a free playlist on my YouTube. In my free Discord, there's a free PDF section. So it has been followed. You just gotta, it has been provided. You just gotta go to the locations that there's videos and documentation. On my YouTube, in my Discord, all free stuff there. Team Rocket, good morning. Sathish, good morning. Hope everybody's day is going well. I hope everybody's week is going well. Just welcoming everybody into the live stream before we get into any information here. We're going to go over some biases for the week. We need to make sure that we update our trading desk. Okay. So let's get off of yesterday's Globex Open. Learner 903, good morning. Hope your day is going well. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Rod, good morning. Hope your day is going well. All righty. Okay, chat. All right. Let's get through some of our analysis. Let's do a quick little top-down analysis. That way we can update our biases and our trading desk. So let's take a look. I'm going to hop over to Euro. We're going to go Euro, dollar, oil. All right, Euro finally gave us an answer. Right? Go back to last week. We were talking about Euro invalidating the bullish bias. And now it has been invalidated. It finally made a move. The entirety of last week, it was just consolidating sideways, which was extremely boring. It's finally made a move. It failed to push higher. All this news that came out over the weekend is definitely the reason why. So let me update the trading desk real quick. We knew that one of them was lying to us. All right, if anybody remembers last week, we were talking about how the dollar had a bullish bias and so did Euro. But we were talking about the inverse correlation, right? When the dollar is moving higher, Euro should be moving lower. That's the inverse correlation. So we knew that one of them was going to be lying to us, right? If you have a bullish bias on both of them, they're not both going to move higher, right? So we had thought that Euro was lying to us, and we finally got that answer. So let me go and update the trading desk here. All right, so the Euro bias was wrong, which is going to mean the dollar bias was correct. And what a beautiful move there. What a beautiful move there, right? We were looking at the bullish FEG. We were saying how the bullish FEG was providing support for higher prices, and there's your move higher. What a beautiful move, right? So the bias was correct there on the dollar. Very good job. You got your bullish move. It only took a week, right? So that's some context that you should hold on to, right? Instead of flip-flopping on your bias every 2 minutes, understand that it might take a week for a bias to play out, right? We had talked about being bullish on Euro back here on the 23rd, but it finally made the move to the target on the 26th. Excuse me, March 2nd. That's 2026, not March 26th. Jeez. It finally made the move a week later. So it's just good perspective to have, to understand that, you know, you shouldn't just jump ship, that your information could still be correct, especially when nothing's been invalidated here, right? Like if we were looking at the bullish FEG, right, that was what was giving us our bias. The bullish FEG here, it never got invalidated. Price continued to get supported by it the entire time. So there was no reason to bail on the bias there. So let's update that as well. Bias was correct. Target completed. Ash, what IPDA ranges do you use? I don't use IPDA ranges. That is not a part of my process. That is not information that I use. That is not something that I use. Good morning, Brutal Trader. Good morning, Benny. Good morning, The Punisher. I hope everybody's day is going well. What are your thoughts on the Apex new plan compared to Lucid? We could do a comparison. Right now, we're going through our biases, so I would like to focus on the analysis, but we can have that conversation here shortly. Okay? It's Mr. Zinc with a Z. Right here. Not shrink. It's with a Z. This is the correct way to spell it right here. Yep. Okay, dollar bias was correct. Beautiful move higher there. Oil. What a move. Look at this. What a move. Yeah, I guess you can say the target's been completed. They completely overshot it. What a move. What a move. So, I'm not going to dive deep into this conversation. This is not, a place to be talking about politics or religion or, war. But, the news that has happened over the weekend, you can clearly see the reaction in price, right? This huge move higher here on oil was definitely from the news. Just like the move lower here on ES and NQ, that was also because of the news. You can see how volatility enters the market when, something happens like that. All right, so don't ask me my opinion on it. I don't have an opinion, and I don't think that's an appropriate conversation to have here. I'm just looking to day trade. I'm looking to show up to the market. I'm going to leave everything else out. So let's update the bias on oil. All right. And then NQ and ES did a very good job moving to the targets. So if you remember from the end of last week, these were my bearish targets right here. So I pointed to this and this. We had pointed to the bearish SMT here. And you've gotten your move completed there. So we left off the end of last week with a bearish bias because of the SMT. We were pointing to the swing lows there as targets for ES and NQ. And due to, the news that happened over the weekend, we were able to gap down and go hit those targets. So that bearish bias has now been completed. Those targets are done. Very good job on the bias. So bias was correct. Targets have been completed. And same thing here on NQ. NQ, go figure, the stronger pair, right, because it made the higher high here, is also now starting to act as the stronger pair here at the lows. Notice the bullish SMT there, right? So NQ did take out one of the targets, but not the second target. Now it's starting to show some bullish SMT at the lows. So we'll definitely keep an eye on that, but I just want to update the bias from Friday real quick. All right. All right. Nice job. Very good job there. Bias was correct. Target completed. Awesome. All right, we've gotten all of our analysis updated. We got the trading desk updated. Now we are going to go back and look at what we have for today. All right, that was an update of Friday's information. Okay, we're going to get prepared for New York Open here shortly. Please know the difference. That was an update to Friday's information. We're going to create our game plan for New York Open here in a couple minutes. Let's take a look. I believe we have some news here first. So give me a second. Let's hop over here. All right, so we have PMI at 10 a.m. this morning. 10 a.m. 10 a.m. So we'll be aware of that. We have PMI at 10 a.m. Hey, good morning, Jip Smith. Good morning, Maya. Good morning, Graham. Good morning, Summer Z. Good morning, Baraket. Good morning, Mika. How's everybody doing today? Hopefully everybody had a nice weekend. Hopefully everybody is ready for the new week. Good morning, Bench Trader. Good morning, Intraday Velocity. How's everybody doing today? Good morning, M. Stano. Hopefully everybody had a nice weekend. Hopefully everybody is getting ready for the new week. Got about an hour here before New York Open, so we are slowly just getting prepared for the day. Good morning, Victor. Good morning, Shara. Good morning, Dag. Yep, like I said, we're going to go over our bias here any minute. Right, we have no rush. We have about an hour here. So I'm just going back and forth with the community as well. We will get our biases completed. Good morning, June 30 trades. Love the recap. Yeah, should I do that more often? I was thinking about doing a monthly recap. So making sure that we point out some of the best setups each month. So if you guys didn't see that was over on the Instagram. I believe that also went into the free PDF section. So if anybody's not aware of this, there's a completely free playlist on the model that I trade on my YouTube. There's a bunch of free PDFs that will help you trade that model within the free Discord. The link to that is in the description of this video. Just go to the free PDF section in the Discord and you can find all of those there. If you're in a banned country, I guess WAP is banned in some countries. Just put a VPN on and go to a non-restricted country. Good morning, Monique. Hope your day is going well. Hope your day is going well. So feel free to throw any questions, any information in the chat as we're waiting and watching. We just updated our analysis from Friday. We're giving it a minute, and then we're going to do our weekly outlook for this week. Somebody also pointed out the Globex IB. What a beautiful IB for Globex. Take a look at this. Where's Graham at? Is Graham in chat? Graham absolutely sniped this. Graham absolutely sniped this. So the IB, everybody's been asking about it. You can also use it for Globex, just like you can use it for London session. You can use it for Asia session. There's Graham. Graham absolutely sniped this last night. Yes, I did see that. Might have been cooking in the kitchen. Might have been a little busy with dinner, but I did see it. This was beautiful last night. Absolutely beautiful. So Globex open, 6 p.m. open, first hour of the open. It's hard to tell with the first 15-minute candle, but you can see it here on the 5-minute chart. The low was created first. The high was created second. That means all of these are longs from 50% of the range. Targeting range high, stop loss range low. Exactly. And then also having the gap here to act as an important area to pull price in that direction. Just beautiful. Just beautiful all around. Look at this thing. Just beautiful. Just beautiful. Okay. What do you mean that we have an hour before New York Open? Well, New York Open is 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and right now it is 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we have 1 hour until New York opens. Right? It opens in 1 hour from now. Ash, when did you decide to add another entry setup? In the beginning of 2026. So if you were at my goal setting live stream in the beginning of 2026, this is something that we talked about. Had to front run the front runner, not giving Bob any more chances. This one did actually get to tap 50%, so this one gave everybody a shot. But even if you front ran it there at starting at 40%, probably somewhere in here, that worked out just beautifully as well. Just need to be able to have the patience, be at the right size to wait all this time, right? Because it took a while to wait and then it went to target. So just need to, be in control of the emotions and the thoughts, because you're probably going profit, drawdown. Profit, drawdown. So as long as you know that this is what invalidation is and not a little bit of drawdown, then we're all good. Then we're all good because this thing ran nicely. Yeah, shout out to Graham. Actually, let's definitely throw a bunch of W's in chat for Graham, because the amount of work that he put in, this past weekend is astonishing. So thank you. Please throw some W's in chat for Graham. The man just absolutely hammered. What is that? Claude? Right? Claude is the name? Just put in some work on that. The new, is that coding? Am I not up to date yet? Why am I out of touch with this Claude thing? That's the new AI. That's like the new ChatGPT, right? So Graham put together a bunch of stats on IB using Claude, and he shared it with the entire community, and then put it on full display here at Globex Open. That is just truthfully doesn't get any more clean than that. So thank you. Everybody's saying, Bob, don't run us today. Bob, give us a chance today, all right? It's only Monday. Start the week out nice and chill for us. Everyone acts like Claude is the second coming when Gemini has been running this stuff for 6 months. I have no clue what any of this stuff is, so I'm not sure where that opinion's coming from, but I was just referring to what Graham did in the public Discord. Hey, good morning, Karen Deep. Hope your day is going well. Hope you had a nice weekend, and welcome back to the markets. Ash, can you please analyze the IB trade for ES Globex? Yep, so here's NQ's Globex, the first 1 hour from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. Okay. And then here is ES. So ES, let's see where's 7 p.m. Wow. So ES got stopped out here. ES got stopped out. So ES had the same Globex open, but ES got stopped out compared to NQ. See the difference here? It goes to invalidation before going to target. What a different story. What a different story. It does eventually go to target, but this one stops you out first compared to this one. Look at how much stronger NQ was here. Look at how much stronger NQ was here. Some of the data that Graham was sharing is in the public chat. So go to the public Discord and go to the general chat. That's why they call you Unk? Yeah, I guess I need to get up to date with the times. That's hilarious. Ash, when you say IB works, also in London, yeah, so it's the first hour of each session. So go to Globex Open, go to Asia Open, go to London Open, go to New York Open. Here's also a screenshot over here. So we did throw this in the Discord as well. Where did it go? Give me a second here. All right, here it is. So take a look at the general chat of the public Discord real quick. So now you can see IB times for Globex, Asia, and London. Okay. Ash, thanks. I analyzed both. The RR was better for ES, but ES failed. So the questions become which to choose when they both present an opportunity. Well, all I've been doing so far is putting orders on both charts, and whoever executes the order first is who I've been trading. So like if you go and look at what was that Wednesday chat? Was it Wednesday? Wednesday of last week, I traded an IB. Both of them had the same IB, so I entered an order on both charts, and I simply just waited to see which order would get executed first. Right? There was no like decision there. I just put orders on both charts. Chat, give me 2 seconds. Somebody's knocking on my door, so just, if you don't mind, just give me 2 seconds. I don't know who this could be. Just 2 seconds, please. Alrighty, chat. Sorry about that. I'm highly debating getting a no solicitation sign here. It's just, it happens way too often at this point, and it's starting to get a little annoying, to be honest. People just come knocking on the door on your own property to try to sell you something, which is crazy. All right, it is what it is. Let's get ready for today. Let's see, let's ski. Yeah, maybe I'll just, next time I'm just going to pick it up on the Ring camera and say, leave, go home. That one was actually a good one. Pull the Uno reverse card. Start selling them your cards. That's actually hilarious. Hey, good morning, Eric. How's your day going? Hey, good morning, Tyree. Hope your weekend went well. Good morning, Mary. Good morning, Anwar. How's everybody doing today? All right. Still got about 45 minutes here before New York Open. But let's take a look at something. Let's get through some biases for NQ and ES. So this is my overall question today. This is what everything revolves around in terms of a bias for me today, is this right here. Is this right here. ES ran below this low right here. February the 17th. NQ did not run below February the 17th. NQ did not run below February 17th. So, this is my line in the sand right here. Is this going to be bullish SMT? Yes or no? Right here. Is this bullish SMT? Is the market going to try to turn here? Yes or no? That is the entire question that I'm asking myself this morning on NQ and ES. Okay? And there is still some gap to fill. So there is something to reach for up here. There is some gap to fill on both NQ and ES. So what do you think, chat? What do you think? Throw a 1 in chat if you're bullish for the day, or throw a 2 in chat if you're bearish for the day. Is that going to be bullish SMT? And can it go target the gap that is above? 1 for bullish, 2 for bearish. What do you think? What do you think? We got 10 a.m. news. We have PMI at 10 a.m. So we definitely have a driver to go target that. So we'll see. We'll see. All right, chat, quick little deal. Quick little deal. I have an E8 account here. I have one code for an E8 account. Okay. I will give away that code. It is a free E8 account. I will give that away if the like button hits 200. Okay, if the like button hits 200, I have an E8 code that I will give away. All right. Hey, good morning, Reinhardt. Good morning, Sam. Hope your day is going well. Could you take a look at oil? Yeah, let's hop over there as well. What a move. What a move. Clearly the news has, affected this one. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. Hey, good morning, Sharky. Thanks for the kind comment. Hope your day is going well. What a move from the news there. A gap up with everything that's going on right now. So, I'm not really interested in longing something that's already up 7.7% on the day. right? Like I'd rather maybe allow it to come back to the gap first. So I'm not really looking too long oil at all. It's already made a 7% move. Big move on the dollar there with the news as well. So the news is definitely affecting price. You can see it here. What about gold? Let's take a look at gold. Well, looks like our bias on gold was correct. There you have it. Remember last week when I said if price remains above 5,100, we are bullish? Well, you just got your bullish move. There you go. Very good job on the bullish bias. That means silver must have gone too, right? Silver and gold normally move the same. Oh, the little breakout. The little breakout. What is this? Bear flag breaking out to the top. Now we're bull flag and bear flag traders. The IB is gone as well, and now we trade bull flags. We've switched from the unicorn to the IB, and now we're bull flag traders. We just keep switching. What's going on? That's just sarcasm, chat. That's just sarcasm. What a move there. What a move. The unicorn's flying away. The IB is no longer balanced. We need to move on to the bull flags. Next, after bull flags, we become support and demand. Or supply and demand. And after that, we do RSI. RSI indicators. Just having a little bit of fun, chat. We're not messing around. We're not changing our strategy. Yet. No, just kidding. Hi, Ash. Hey, what's up, Content Hunter? How are you doing today? Welcome back to the market. Hope you had a nice weekend. Very excited to get back to work here. Yeah, CL could go with natural gas. NG. NG. Natural gas. RB as well. That's correct. Very good job, Reinhardt. Yeah, gasoline got the same move as oil. Very nice. Hey, Ash, did I miss something? You've missed everything. You've missed everything. We've gone through all of our analysis, all of our giveaways. We smashed a W. We already collected $9 million from the chart this morning. No, I'm sorry. I don't know where all the sarcasm is coming from today. Maybe too much caffeine today. I don't know. No, you didn't miss anything. I got to stop with the sarcasm. Too much sarcasm today. You didn't miss anything. We were welcoming everybody into the live stream. We updated our biases. We got to make sure that we're always documenting. So normally we say good morning to everybody. Then we go through all of our biases for the day. We make sure we update the Discord because we need it via audio. We need it via visual. We need it via text. We make sure that the solicitor that's knocking on the door gets entered into the premium group. We pulled the reverse card on him. And now we are slowly getting prepared for New York Open. We mentioned one giveaway as well. I do have a E8 account. I have one E8 account that I'm willing to give out if the like button hits 200. Ash, please, would you know the minimum account balance I will need to trade 1 micro on a personal live account? So it depends on which broker you go to. So each broker has different requirements, right? Robinhood's margin requirements are going to be different than Charles Schwab's margin requirements. Also going to be different than AMP's margin requirements. So for example, on AMP, for day trading specifically, I'm not talking about swing trading. So day trading, so intraday, like what we're doing here, opening a position and closing it within 1 day, okay? $40 per contract is the margin that's required, and the minimum deposit is $100 to activate that live account, okay? So very low requirements over there on AMP, okay? For the minis, it's 400 per contract, 500 per contract. So obviously micros are cheaper. So AMP is definitely an option. Just make sure you check your broker because each broker is going to have different requirements. Ash, what's the importance of the middle time frame? So I usually get my bias from the daily. Then I usually get key levels and look for SMT on the middle time frame. Then the lower time frame is the entry function. So that would be the differences. All sarcasm until Ash starts telling dad jokes. It's not too far away. So I can't even say, can't say that's not going to happen. It's not too far away at this point. It's not too far away at this point. We actually just made another baby video this past weekend. I'm going to post that soon too. Trying to make as much videos for the little guy so when he gets here, he can see everything that's happened. All right, let's see what we got here. Uh-oh. Imagine if this is the range. Uh-oh. Are we getting rejected from 50% of the current range? And a change in the state of delivery? Uh-oh. Is this what we're going to get here this morning? Ash, what are things to look for when ERL to IRL are not visible on the chart, like today? What are things to consider? Any advice in this matter? If you cannot identify your concepts, you should not be trading. Plain and simple. Right? If something is not visible, then the information is not clear enough to take risk on. Very simple. Like, if you can't understand the information, do not risk. Plain and simple. Don't go searching, oh, let me find a different way to analyze this price so I can understand it. No. No, thank you. If you can't understand it, step away. Because then you just start scrambling. And that's where mistakes are made. Hey, good morning. Good morning, son of Wall Street. How are you doing today? %50 of the London high and low as well. Yeah, so here's London here. Ash, if Unicorn and IB are telling two different stories, what will you be doing there? I'm not comparing the two strategies. I don't do that. I go into the day, I say I'm looking for a unicorn. I go into the day, I say I'm looking for an IB. That's it. I don't go, oh, let's compare the unicorn to the IB. No, thank you. We want the process to be as simple as possible. Okay, don't try to confuse yourself by asking yourself more questions, by adding on more information, adding on more criteria. That's not a good idea. We don't want to be confusing ourselves here. Make it as simple as possible. Make it as simple as possible. Hey, good morning, JJ Fresh. How's your day going so far? What are you guys trading today? Throw it in chat. Are you looking for initial balance or are you looking for a unicorn today? How are you guys going to operate? What's your choice? Volume, okay. IB, okay. Unicorn, okay. IB type of day? Yeah, well, let's share some more stats. How does IB work on Mondays? What are those stats looking like? Inversions, okay. Coin flip, yeah. Get the quarter out. Heads or tails. Yes, thank you for pointing out. We have PMI at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Good morning, Ash. Hey, good morning, Craig. Have you looked at the new Apex offerings? Let's take a look. We did say that we wanted to take a look at that, so let's take a look. Get over here. Let's take a look. All right. New Apex updates. End of day drawdown. No payout denials / reviews. 50% consistency rules. 5 trading day minimums. Built-in scaling in DLL. Evals will no longer have monthly recurring fees. Evals are active for 30 days. It's still 1 day to pass. And bulk purchases are available. Are you telling me that you can finally just buy 20 in one attempt? It only took them 5 years to finally do that, and now they're finally making some updates, huh? Who had to go through that pain? Just throw some pain in chat if you had to sit there and click the button 20 times in a row to get 20 different accounts. That was so unnecessary. Like, how are they? It's 2026. How do they not have, the technology to do that? Like, what? But I guess bulk purchases are now available finally. Let's take a look. For the legacy products, nothing changes for existing evaluation or PA accounts. Existing evals and PAs remain the same. You can still renew and reset. You can still pass the evals and get into legacy PAs. You can hold both legacy and new products. No retroactive rule changes. Okay. Major changes are the new core products in which they are saying, I'm not going to hold them to it, but they are saying no payout reviews, no payout denials, no MAE rules, no 5-to-1 risk rule. Scaling is built into the system. Consistency rule has increased from 30% to 50%. Payout eligibility, it was 8 trading days, now it's 5. Okay. There is no high frequency trading. There's no hedging, no rule manipulation. Prohibited behaviors are monitored. New evaluation accounts, no monthly recurring bills, one-time fee for a 30-day evaluation, no resets. Bulk purchasing isn't here yet. It's coming soon. Okay. It looks like it's coming in a 5-pack and a 10-pack option. So you're still going to have to click the button multiple times. Account types, intraday trailing, and end of day trailing. So it looks like you'll have either option. 25K, 50K, 100K, 150K. So it looks like they're getting rid of the 250 and 300K options. New performance PA accounts, one-time activation fee, currently shown as $79 for intraday, may change on larger accounts. Okay. Lower max contracts. Okay. New payout structure. Let's take a look. 100% payout split. I think that's for the first, 30,000? It doesn't say here. It just says 100% payout split. I believe that's only for the first 30,000. I need to check on that part. Okay. I need to check on that part. Don't quote me on it. So let's keep going. Minimum 5 trading days, 50% consistency rule, higher minimum daily profit requirements. So for example, a 50K account has $250 minimum for a daily profit. Maximum 6 payouts per PA. That's okay. So there's no longer an uncapped payout. So for example, before these changes, right? Like, you've seen some people hit some $1 million payouts. Looks like that's no longer going to be an option because it's saying there's a maximum of 6 payouts per PA. After your sixth payout, they're going to close those accounts and you're going to have to start over from the beginning. That's crazy. So you get 6 payouts from one account. Your account graduates and you either get transitioned to live or they send you back to evals. Wow. Okay, that's interesting. That's an interesting one. So, chat, what do you think about all that? You guys were asking me to go through the Apex updates. That was the entire list of Apex updates. What do you think? What's your opinion? Are you taking this trade? Chat, once again, you guys have been with me here for a while now. You should already know this. I've said it a million times. I'll continue to keep saying it. If I'm in a trade, you will see the P&L fluctuating on the screen. If I'm in a trade, you will be able to see the execution labels shown on the screen. So if I am not in a trade, there will not be any P&L fluctuating. There will not be any execution labels on the screen. Very simple stuff. Very, very simple stuff. Okay. What do you all think about those Apex updates? What do you all think? So intraday and end of day, that's a huge difference. Intraday trailing drawdown is horrible. So it is nice to see that they're finally getting a end of day option. In my opinion, end of day has to end up being more expensive. So I would not be surprised if those are higher prices. No payout denials. I want to believe in them. Right? But coming from one of the companies that have always had an issue with payout approvals, it's a little hard to believe. It's been years and years of just, watching random denials, and all of a sudden there's no longer going to be any denials. I guess they just flipped the switch out of nowhere. I don't know. That one I'm going to need to see it to believe it. It's hard for me to just, believe in them. Yes, there is a monthly fee, but it's a one-time fee. It's not a recurring fee. Yes, you still have to purchase it. Okay, so there are evaluation fees, okay, but it is a one-time fee for a 30-day evaluation. Oh, so I guess hello? So no matter what, if it's only a 30-day evaluation, it's the same exact thing. That means you have to purchase a new one for the next 30 days. One-time fee for a 30-day evaluation. That's the same exact thing as having recurring. Okay, well, they're just trying to use fancy language, I guess. That just doesn't make any sense. So it's a one-time fee for a 30-day evaluation, right? So at the end of 30 days, you have to pass it or fail it because they're going to make you purchase a new one for the next 30 days. That's so lame. That's the same exact thing as before. Nice. W marketing right there. That's just hilarious. It's the same exact thing. They just worded it differently. That's hilarious. I'm not going to lie. They did confuse me there for a second, but after I thought about it 2 times, it's pretty simple. It's the same thing. That is hilarious. They just needed to put something into the marketing. It's clearly what that was. Not the same as before. All right, so let me just rephrase this. Before, you were allowed to have an eval for multiple months, right? But after the 30-day mark, you would have a recurring billing, right? So the only reason that it's different, right? So yes, it is different because you have to start over after 30 days no matter what. I understand that portion is different. What I was referring to was the payment, right? They're saying that there's no recurring billing every 30 days, Well, you do not get to stay in your account after the 30 days. So if you want to stay in your account for more than 30 days, you're going to have to buy a new one. So you have to start over from the beginning, and you do have to make a recurring purchase. So I was referring to the purchase, right? Every 30 days, you will have to make another purchase if you don't pass the account within 30 days. That's pretty lame that you got to start the balance over and pay again. Jeez. Did you enter this position? Chad, did I enter this position? What do you think? Yes, that is exactly the difference. That's what we're trying to talk about. Recurring means that you get to stay in the account. You get to keep the balance. You just have to pay again. That is not happening anymore. That is not happening anymore. They will close the account no matter where you are in the account after 30 days. So you have to start from zero again and make another purchase. That's pretty lame, in my opinion. We're talking about the Apex updates. There was a bunch of updates that happened in the past couple of days, so we were reviewing some of those new rules. There's been a bunch of updates to Apex. We were just going through some of their rules. Yes, they canceled resets. There are no more resets, which is just hilarious because they are making you. They say no resets, right? So you can't reset the account, but you can purchase a new account that starts at the beginning again. Come on. No resets, but you can purchase a new account that starts from the beginning again. Oh, man. Oh, man. If you have legacy accounts, it'll stay with the legacy rules. But for new accounts, it'll follow the new rules. Are you still on My Funded TV? Yes. I will actually be over there at 10:30 a.m. today. So I will be on the show today. NQ, we are trapped inside of a bullish FEG and a bearish FEG. There's nothing to do here. You know, New York opens in about 13 minutes, so maybe I'll just help you guys with the confusion. There's nothing to analyze here. We wait for New York open, and then we see what happens. So no reason to be rushing into anything here. The information will change in about 10 to 15 minutes. That's when we start looking. Excited to see what promos Apex will now offer for the new accounts. It's the same thing every time. You know, if you guys don't realize that the 90% off discount is just the normal price, the 80% off discount is just the normal price, you're just falling into the marketing because there's always a discount available. That means the normal price is the discounted price because there's always a discount available. That's just like marketing, like psychology stuff, right? Just saying discount, gives it something to market when the reality of the situation is there is always a discount. So it'll be the same thing. You'll see those 90% offs, which just doesn't make any sense. I have no clue about their live accounts. It's been multiple years. They've never had a live transition until now. I wouldn't be surprised if the most recent live account was the first live account. I've been banned from Apex for a while now because of it. Before they were just banning people. They didn't have live traders before. I don't know what the live transition is going to be. It's brand new. What are we going to get here today, chat? Got another 10 minutes before New York Open. See what the chart has for us today. See what the charts has for us today. All righty. Take a look. Let's take a look. London lows will be taken. Is that right? We shall see. Make sure that the Discord is updated. Yep. Okay. Okay. We are good to go. Let's see what we get here today. Do you consider this a unicorn since there's no FEG? It cannot be a unicorn if there is no FEG. A breaker block plus an FEG, that's what a unicorn is. If there is no FEG, it cannot be a unicorn. We should get correct and convincing SMT today. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. That's what I have to say about that. I don't do the shoulda, woulda, couldas. I'd rather be objective to the information. Read the information for what it's giving you. There's no reason to be doing hypotheticals. There's no reason to influence price with your opinion. Just read it like a book. Read it from left to right. And just allow price to do whatever it wants to do and be objective to it. So, market doesn't care about your opinion. Doesn't care about how you feel. Doesn't care about what you think. It can and will do whatever it wants whenever it wants to. You can place your bets contingent upon probabilities. You can have the scope of understanding certain statistics. But other than that, there is a random distribution to probabilities, right? For example, let's use a coin flip. Let's use a coin flip. Let's, do I have? I don't have any in here. I don't have any. Right, so I was going to show you what a random distribution to probabilities is. That being a coin flip, right? You would think that a coin has a 50-50 chance, right? So if you flip a coin, it should land on heads one time and it should land on tails one time. Well, that's not the case, right? If you flip a coin, it can land on heads both of the times. Right? Just because there's a 50-50 chance, that does not mean that you will have a 50-50 result. There's a random distribution to probabilities. Same exact thing here in the market. Right? You could be looking at the statistics of, IB and see that if the low is formed first, the high is formed second, there's a 65% chance that the high gets taken out. It's a chance. It's not a result. It is a probability. It is not a guarantee. Okay? So we'll see. We will get correct and convincing SMT today. Today, February 6th low is not a relevant low. All right, let's see what happens. Let's see what happens today. Hey, good morning, Emily. Hope your day is going well. Got about 4 minutes here before New York Open, so we are ready to go. Let's see what the market has for us today. Let's see what New York Open is going to provide us today. Another 3 minutes here, chat. Buckle up. Get prepared. Just made my first ever contribution into a Roth IRA. Feels good. Yeah, you need to accept the fact that that will be handed down to the kids. Right? Put that into the market. Do a monthly contribution every single month, with the understanding that that is money that you are storing away in the market, right? So just SPY and NASDAQ, just put it into the overall market. And then understand that that is going to be sitting there for the rest of life. So make sure it's a proportion that is the correct size, that it won't bother you day to day. Okay? That it does not change your day-to-day life. It does not change your thoughts, your game plan, your emotions. And have the understanding that you are making a payment towards your college, your kids' college tuition, from in 20 years from now. But, of course, this is not financial advice. That's just my 2 cents. Everybody's got to have a 401k. Everybody's got to have a Roth. Everybody's got to have some crypto. Everybody's got to have some real estate. We got to diversify. We got to have all of our sources of income. Very good job, Graham. Very good job. 1 more minute before New York Open. Let's get ready to rumble. Let's see what we get here today. Compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. I 100% agree with that. You know, the earlier you get started, the better off you'll be. I wish somebody said that to me sooner, but here we are. All right. Let's go, chat. 10 seconds here. Focus up. 22, you have more than enough time. You have all the time in the world if you're only 22 years old. You are early, my friend. You are early. New York Open. Let's go. Let's see what we get here. Hold on. And whoever said there wasn't an FEG here, there is an FEG here, right here. So this is a unicorn. Right there. All right. Let's see what we get here. Starting with a push higher here off the open. Running it higher off the open here. Still have that gap left to fill up there for both ES and NQ. Okay. Nice little hourly gap there for both of them. Some SMT there at the low as well. Right, so inside of an hourly gap. Here's the bullish gap right here. Right? Bullish FEG. Bullish SMT. Okay. Looks like it's trying to create a bullish 15-minute change in the state of delivery. All right. Alrighty, chat. Let's take a look. Will ES follow NQ? Oh, wrong buttons. Hold on. Wrong button again. What's going on here today? Well, my analysis is just gone. What happened here? Did we not just... I don't get it. Oh, there it is. How was that so late? All right, chat. Type 1 if you're going to look at this long position. Type 2 if you think it's a horrible idea. What do you think? Longs to the gap? Or maybe they just sprinted there without us? Yes or no? Or maybe they could just go right to the target and, you know, forget about ever thinking about coming back here. Right, that's definitely an option too. They just sprint it right off the open. What is that? 140 points higher. Forget about all of us. How many points is this over here on ES? Why are my charts lagging today? Come on. Any day now. Why is it so laggy? Hello, chart. Wake up. What a move here off the open. They're just sprinting it higher. I wanted to see the risk on ES, but my chart is not cooperating. Watch, right when I go to do it, it's going to pop up, right? As soon as I actually go to replace it. This is what I was trying to look for. 20 points there on ES. They're just going to run it right to the target, not give anybody an opportunity there. What a move. What a move. Okay. Is it okay to take a trade that the setup happened 1 to 2 hours before New York Open? I personally stick to a certain set of trading times. I look to participate at New York Open. So I'm looking for trades between 9:30 to 11:30. That's when I search for positions. Whether it's okay or not, that's a decision you make for yourself. All right? Pick a certain set of hunting hours so you can know what is and is not a trade. That's my 2 cents. What a move. Let's take a look and see where maybe where 50% would be as well. Alrighty. The bulls came out hot this morning. Look at that. Instant run higher. What a move. Didn't get the gap, though, for ES or NQ, so curious to see if the... Oh, of course. Now it's here, right? Of course. Curious to see if, are we going to finish the move to the gap? Yay or nay? We're going to finish the move to the gap? Let's see. I would be interested in this if it happens. We'll see if it happens. I would be interested in that. If they're just going to sprint to the gap, I'm not going to chase it. So we'll see what happens. We will see. So chat, like I mentioned earlier, if the thumbs up button gets to 200, I will give out a giveaway account, 1E8 account. I do have to give away. If the like button gets to 200, do me a favor. If you're finding any of these live streams valuable, if you're enjoying the community, if you're enjoying any of the giveaways, smash the sub button as well. Turn the notifications on. We've been doing this every single week. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. We plan on continuing to do that through the entire year. So show up, have some fun, take some trades, go over some education, do some giveaways. That's what we'll be doing here in the community. The change in the state of delivery, that is the candle or set of candles that takes out liquidity. So notice how this is a down close candle. Notice how this is a down close candle. Notice how that series of candles is what took out this swing low here, right? And then price went above the opening price of it. So that's the change in the state of delivery, right? Same thing over here. Series of down close candles that took out liquidity. And then price went above that opening price, change in the state of delivery. All right. Hey, Ash, does the rule that longing the stronger pair during SMT only apply to unicorn trades? Why can't I speak today? Unicorn trades or a change in the state of delivery. You have to understand that those are the same exact thing, right? Every single unicorn is going to have a change in the state of delivery. So you are using the same information, right? The information that you're using is a Kraken correlation, which is SMT, and a change in trend, right? Whether you want to call that a unicorn or a change in the state of delivery, they mean the same thing. The trend has changed, right? Like however you want to identify that, be my guest. Yes, you want to long the stronger pair. You want to short the weaker pair. Yep. It's all the same information. It's all the same idea. Kraken correlation, change in trend. Doesn't matter what type of change in trend you're using, right? You can use a change in state of delivery. You can use a breaker plus an FEG. You can use an inversion. All of those things are just referencing a change in trend. So, decent push higher off the open so far. We will see if they want to give any type of pullback to allow us into some longs. Looking to see if we can come back to the area of this 15-minute change in state of delivery. right? And here's that same example that I was just trying to tell you, right? This is going to be a bullish unicorn and a bullish change in the state of delivery. It's all the same thing. That's a 100-point stop for us. Okay, so are you going to take the trade? Yes or no? Right? Like 108 points. So what are you saying because it's a 100-point stop, you're not allowed to take the trade? That doesn't make any sense. Right? Like the market determines the volatility. You cannot control how many points your stop loss is going to be. Sometimes it's going to be 50 points. Sometimes it's going to be 100. Sometimes it's going to be 200. The market determines the stop loss. There will always be different amounts of volatility in the market. So we cannot control how many points the stop loss will be. The stop loss is supposed to go at invalidation, right? This is invalidation because this is the SMT that the idea is based around, right? We got SMT with a change in the state of delivery. So we started looking for a move to the gap above, right? So we would know the idea is wrong if the SMT is no longer there anymore, or if the target was completed before that, right? So we don't get to just say, oh, the stop loss is supposed to be 20 points. No, we put the stop loss where the idea is invalidated. Leaving you behind. Yeah, you got that one correct, right? They ran this thing higher, ran right up to the gap. I'm still at the bus stop waiting. Still patiently waiting. Would you think it could do a pullback to go back up there afterwards? I have no crystal ball. I do not attempt to predict the future. I objectively analyze the information that is being presented, right? I have no clue what's going to happen in an hour from now, is what I'm trying to say. What I'm doing is I'm reading this like a book. I just read it from left to right, and I efficiently react to the information that's being presented. Okay. I have no clue what's going to happen in an hour from now. I have no clue what's going to happen tomorrow. I don't think anybody has a crystal ball. So we'll just wait and see, right? If they give me a pullback, then I will consider longs. I'll only consider longs if my target is still available, right? So I'd rather do if-then statements than make guarantees, because there is no form of guarantee in this market. The way that I prepare myself is if the target is completed before I get an entry, then I will not take the trade. If they give me an entry before the target is completed, then I'll take the long to my target. But I can't control what's going to happen. I just wait and see. Right? And then the other idea is the initial balance, right? So looks like they're going to go and take our target. Looks like yes already. No, most of them are a point away. So I'm no longer going to look at this change in the state of delivery, right? It's close enough to target. This thing ran 200 points without ever retracing. So the objective analysis is once we analyzed the change in the state of delivery, they pumped it so hard, leaving us behind, that we did not get an entry. And now that it's at the target that I was looking for, I'm no longer looking to take this trade. right? So that is the real results instead of doing like hypotheticals, right? Rather just objectively analyze. So that's not the end of the day though, because we could also look at a initial balance, right? So the initial balance is looking like a long so far. The low was set first at 930. We'll see where the high is set, but here's 50% in here, somewhere in here. So this is also a 140-point stop. So we got news in 10 minutes, right? The initial balance is not set until 10:30. So we are just going to wait. We will see what initial balance is created, and we'll take it from there. Yep, we got the news coming up here in 10 minutes. PMI. Beware. PMI. How did you all do, chat? How did you all do? Did you guys already crush New York Open or what? Already slam 5 trades because New York has already opened? I would love for them to give the initial balance long and then go to the gap. That would be lovely. That would be real lovely. Although, careful. ES did make it to the gap. Careful. Maybe that's actually SMT. Beware. So 145 points. I'm just going to hop off of here now because that would be way too many points for a mini. So if there was any trade, it would be over on MNQ. Or MES, the micro. How many points is that? So about 150 points would be about $300 for one contract. What's an IB? IB is the initial balance. It is the first 1 hour of New York Open. You analyze the high and the low of the first 1 hour of New York Open. That's the initial balance. So we'll see in about another 5 minutes here. I'd like to see the news. What happens with the news? I wouldn't mind this right here. If we get this from the news, that's something I'll consider. that is something I'll be considering. Just give it 5 minutes, allow PMI to happen, and then we'll see what happens here. Quick question. If at all, when approaching the market, do you consider using either or strategy for that particular day? I do not have a determination for that. There's nothing that says, oh, today is an initial bounce day. Oh, today is a unicorn model day. There is no definitive reason for that. Right? I wish there was. I wish there was something concrete where I could be like, okay, yeah, this is the reason why. But the truth, the transparency is there is no definitive reason. Right? You just saw me point to both of them, right? I just pointed to a change in the state of delivery, and now I'm pointing to an initial bounce. So don't get caught up in the information overload is what I have to say about that, right? If too much information is going to cause a distraction to your risk management, then only choose one model and completely get rid of that decision making. Get rid of that question. Just choose one model and stick to it, right? Because information overload is even worse. Anything that takes you away from managing your risk is a distraction, right? Other people's opinion, other strategies, other times, anything that takes you away from focusing on managing your own risk is a distraction. So that's my only advice is don't fall into the information overload. If using more than one strategy does that to you, then do not use multiple strategies. All righty. Where are we at now? 2 more minutes before the news. Let's see what we get here. Chat, I do have the My Funded Futures live stream at 10:30, so I will need to change over to the other live stream coming up here shortly. I want to see what happens with the news. If we get this retracement back to 50% of the range, I'll look at taking a long. Okay. Other than that, I need to make sure that I get a little snack in before the My Funded Futures stream. And then we have 10:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. over on that YouTube channel. So we got about another 10 minutes here before I wrap this up. I'm going to see what happens here with the news, see if we get the pullback. Maybe we get the long, and then we can watch the long over on the My Funded Futures YouTube channel. But this is what I'll be looking for right here. Let's see what the news has for us in about a minute from now. All right, here comes the news, chat. Let's see what we got here. Ash, there's a gap on the 1 minute time frame. All right, the 1 minute time frame is not going to be the most important chart. Notice how I haven't even gone down to the 1 minute time frame yet. The higher time frame holds more influence, right? So for example, here is a daily gap, right? This is from the Sunday open, right? It's a gap from the daily chart. This is a lot more important than a 1 minute gap. Right, higher time frame holds the influence, in my opinion. All right, news time. What do we get here? Not much. Barely anything. Did MES move? Whole lot of nothing. A nothing burger. Whole lot of nothing for that news. Give us that retracement to 50%. See if we get this right here. Get a move to 50%, get us in a long, then let's target the highs. If they decide to go immediately to the highs, right? So here's your two options. They either go like this, they immediately go to the highs, or they go like this, they give us a retracement by letting us into the long, then they go to the highs. And then, of course, there's always the third option of smashing right to a stop loss. Here's your options today. Here's the order for today. If they go to the target without me, I don't care. Couldn't care less, right? So I will cancel this order if they go to here before they go to here. Okay? Here are my options for today. Let's see what happens. Looks like they just want to sprint it higher this morning. Yeah. Looks like they're not waiting around for nobody. Looks like they're not waiting around for nobody. Why are you putting your order in before 9:30 or 10:30? Because it doesn't matter, right? Just because the order's there doesn't mean it's going to get filled. Right? I'm here watching price. I see that it's nowhere near my order. So what's the difference? What's the difference between now and 10:30? You tell me. Right, I'll be able to know if I get filled or not. So it's just an idea until something actually happens. There's nothing to take action on here. Right, and ES is already pushing higher, filling that gap. So it's probably not going to get us in anyways. All right, chat. I do have to wrap up shop. I need to